I loves me some 1 degree of chunky B.
Now, I just have to make a comment about Chunky B. Have you ever seen him looking so good?
The panel then includes actress Lady Kazan, comedian Chunky B, and Playboy TV host Julie Strain. Chunky?
What was the question?
Ladies and gentlemen.
Whoa.
Yeah, I'm coming in hot. I'm coming in hot. First of all, thank you. I know the last week's podcast, or the podcast of us just sitting here talking bullshit in the garage of love, we got deep. Today, we're going to do the same thing, but we've got a super cool special guest, and I'm going to introduce him in a second. But first of all, love to say thank you, Venice Duck. Give me some love over there, Mr. Gary Adler, executive producer of Love.
Thanks, Chucky.
Bam.
Here's the here's our major sponsor, Venice Duck Brewery. Want to thank the guys over there, John Henry and Christian Warren.
Yep, Christian Warren.
And they sent us this new agave blonde ale, which I'm really loving.
And we elaborated last time on that word agave. Can you break that down? What does that mean to you?
Well, that's a plant that they find in Mexico
Well
that
done, sir.
can either be used as a sweetener or make tequila out of. Yeah.
Exactly.
Or beer, delicious beer.
Hey, how about the Wizard of the Knobs? Give it up for Travis Spencer.
The knobs. Gentlemen, it's good to be here. It's good to be here.
Thank you, Travis.
How was your sandwich last week?
Oh, delicious. I think I haven't been hungry all week. It's crazy how it works.
Dean Adler, we still thank you.
Thanks, Dean.
Now I need your undivided attention. I want you to look me in the eye because I want to tell you about a guy that is one, a great individual, two, is a warm-up guy who's basically one of the best in the business. Sindelar. He goes by the name of Bill Sindelar.
I've been playing for the cameras the whole time, so while you guys were talking
really?
shit. Well, I realized you were recording everything, and I'm just sitting here watching you, so I'm like, fuck it, I'll just start playing to the cameras.
Yeah.
All right.
And turn his camera now on.
Okay, listen to me. If you do not know who this cat is, look him up. Look him up. He is one of the good guys.
Where can we find Bill Sindelar for people who want to look him up?
Bigcock.org.
Bigcock.org. I was on that several times last week.
What was that? 30 seconds before he went to the cock. 30
Going
seconds
straight
before
for the
he went
cock
to the
jokes.
cock.
Right.
Hey, dude.
No, seriously. Can you give him a website?
Oh, yeah. You can go to mine. You can go to BillSindelar.com.
BillSindelar.com.
Yeah.
All right. Listen to me. Before we start talking
What?
Business and you know what you and I do for a living and all that behind the scenes great storytelling, how in the hell are you such a fucking sports fanatic?
I know, right? You're like, you figured the gay guy would just be prancing around on a unicorn with like a fucking dress.
Looking for a rainbow.
Like, hey.
Dude, but you're hardcore.
I am. Look, I brought I got my Browns hat on. I'm a huge, you know what? Just it's the Midwest. Where are you from?
I'm an Ohio guy.
How are you not into fucking sports?
I am. I love the Bengals. I had season tickets.
That's not.
But he loves badminton. We found out last weekend.
loves badminton.
Because I like to say shuttlecock.
No, man, I'm just, I was just raised that way. It was in my family, and then you're from the Midwest, and everybody, that's what you do. What do you do in the winter in Ohio except watch football? You stay inside. There's nothing to do. The winters are awful. So, but yeah, and then I moved out here, and I'm like, I'm not one of these fair weather LA people. Like, all of a sudden, everyone loves the Clippers now. You know, fucking Kobe's back now with his RoboCop knees. He'll be back this season. And,
yeah, right.
But trust me, it's hard. I stopped going to the bars to watch the Browns because it's like it was embarrassing to sit there and have people just yell at you the whole time because you knew your team sucked. Like you knew you were going 4-12 before the season started. But
but what about how psyched were you about Johnny Football?
I'm glad I'm happy the season is playing the way it is because I'd rather see him on the sidelines.
Really?
Let him. Oh yeah. No, he was terrible. He was terrible in the preseason, and he'll even admit it was a different game. But Hoyer has come in and without Josh Gordon, he's like the number 7 quarterback in the league. And if the thing that sucks is our defense was supposed to be top 5, top 10,
right,
and they're 31st. So if they would actually have played some D, we'd be 3-0. But NFL's always coulda, woulda, shoulda.
Okay. It's just blowing me away. It's blowing me. And now, you and I have known each other. We've been friends for like fucking...
Since you were a cameraman, my first warm-up job when we worked on the Wayne Brady show together.
That's right. Oh
That's
my
how
God.
that's how long ago we go.
You were cameraman. He was warm up.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was Wayne's improv partner. So then Wayne got a TV show, and he's like, "Do you want to be my warm-up guy?" And I'm like, "Sure." And it was just because we had a rapport. He's like, "I'd rather hang out with you, and we can make fun of each other and crack jokes and do stuff than find someone he didn't know." And I had done this kind of stuff at SeaWorld, and I don't know where we're going with the interview this evening, but like I used to be I used to be the sports arena announcer back in Cleveland, and so like I kind of did all this stuff, and I worked at SeaWorld and worked with in the entertainment department, and worked with sea lions and otters, and worked with sea animals, and did the same kind of stuff, except I was making $10 an hour back in the day, and it's it's nice.
But we didn't know.
You're lucky they didn't put you in the main tank, right?
They're pools. Don't get me started. If we're gonna start, don't start on the SeaWorld shit, because I will go off on the blackfish shit like that. I'm so that.
Well, that's.
I would love to talk to that woman.
She was one of our best guests.
Was she seriously?
sat right
Wait
here.
a minute, we talked about this. Oh, you were so happy that I was not sitting in that chair. I would have fucking killed her. Not physically killed. I would have fucking reamed her.
See how these SeaWorld people
Fuck
are?
that.
See?
Was she? She manipulated the shit. The trainers even all came out and said afterwards that she manipulated everything and cut everything up. Look, everybody can feel how they want to. At the end of the day, without conservation, without these institutions, nobody would ever respect. So if you start with SeaWorld, this is a whole other thing.
Yeah, let's
but then
move
you're
on.
getting rid of everything, and then you don't animal test. So then if you're sick, then how are you going to get drugs and medication? I'm just saying, it's a whole slippery slope. If you want things to go extinct, then they can go extinct. But they're even saying how killer whales are going extinct, and the only ones you're going to end up having are in a zoological institution. When I was there, whether you believe the animals should be in a pool or tank, as she would say, or not, is a whole other argument. But the truth is, those animals were so well taken care of when I was there. I mean, it's a whole other thing.
But
We
I
need more beer
respect
for
your enthusiasm. I respect your opinion. And there's nothing wrong with that. And you got back to me saying, "Hey, there's still people that are really cool with it." And I dig that about you. But I'm going to flip the coin a little bit. I want to change the subject.
I never thought we'd be talking about blackfish. Wow, this shit's getting deep.
I didn't either. But were you actually the mascot for the Angels?
Oh, good. We're moving on. Yeah, I was the mascot for the Angels. Well,
Okay, break that down. That's awesome.
so when I moved out here, my boss, when I worked for the Cleveland Cavs, he was in charge of the arena out there, which is kind of like Staples. It was called Gundarena, not a venereal disease.
Gundarena.
Gundarena.
Fuck, I was going to go with that for Halloween.
The venue that keeps on giving.
If you send it real quick, it's like, "Welcome to Gun Arena," and it sounded like it was a VD, right? So anyway,
that's
so
funny.
he ended up, he took a job as head of entertainment for the Angels and Ducks, and I actually moved out here and freaked out. Moved out here for 3 months and then freaked out and moved back to Cleveland.
Really?
And then, the minute I got back to Cleveland, I was like, why did I move home? But I needed another year of like growing up. And I was out of Cleveland for like a year. I got this job working.
Some time on the sidelines.
Came back
Hold on,
out.
let me go back.
Yeah.
So I didn't think anyone moves back to Cleveland. So would you just bit off more than you could chew?
No, but when I was in Cleveland, I did commercials and people knew me, and like
I got you.
I was doing all this stuff, and then I moved out here, and no shit, like I was a pro sports mascot at this time. I couldn't even get the job as fucking Chuck E. Cheese at Chuck E. Cheese. I'm not even kidding.
Did you go for the job?
I did. I went in and they said I wasn't good with kids. I'm like, hello, I'm the gay guy. Of course the gay guy's good with kids. I'm kidding. No. But truly, I couldn't even. I worked at Old Navy, and I was like, "This is hell," and I had no friends. And I mean, the truth is, my 2 roommates that I moved in with were gay, and I didn't know it. And I've known I was gay since I was like 5. But at that point, I always thought it was like, oh, it'll go away or it'll be what it is. And I'm like, I want to be an actor. I can't know gay people or live with them. So that kind of freaked me out too, and that was one of the reasons why I moved back home. I couldn't find a job
because
but
that's how you get into the. acting
Well,
business.
why do you think I'm here?
No, were you gay in high school?
No. I mean, like I said, I knew when I was younger, but nah. I
couldn't
didn't. I
imagine?
tried coming out in college, and the girl that I came out to had a crush on me, and I didn't know it. So when I told her that I was gay, she decided to tell all of our friends that I was dealing with sexual issues. And then all my friends were trying to be supportive, and they're like, hey, she's saying you're gay, and it's cool if you are. And I completely freaked me out. But she told everybody because she's like, the reason why Bill doesn't like me is because he's gay.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, right.
And that's
that
like
was
the
her
quote.
insecurity.
It was. And it sucked, but it was fine.
Did you ever sleep with women?
I had sex with one person. It was my boss's fiance, And
Okay, wait a second.
Yeah,
Tell
let's
us.
talk about that.
so
Let's just sit back and enjoy this.
So when I worked at SeaWorld, everybody wanted to bang my boss's fiance because they thought she was hot. And we were at work, and he's like, dude, you're not. So listen, when I worked at SeaWorld, I impersonated, I was in a pirate show. So when you're a pirate, no one thinks you're gay. But the year later, I had to impersonate Richard Simmons, and I was queen of the park. Right? It's like, oh, fuck. So then I end up going, so they're like, you're not gay. And I'm like, no, I'm not gay. And I mean, I knew I was, but like, I worked in an area where somebody that was in our area had a bat that had homos only engraved into it. So like, I'm like, God, if you knew I was gay, you'd like want to hit me with a bat. So it really fucks you up when you're younger and you don't have a support system and stuff. So anyway, I was like, yeah, I'm not gay. And he's like, well, our friend, he's like, my fiance's friend thinks you're cute. Why don't you come over tonight and we'll get beers and have pizza and we'll see if we can, because I was a virgin at the time. He's like, we'll see if we can make this happen. And I was like, all right. So I went to the house. The girl really wasn't feeling me. She left. I was hammered. I went into the guest bedroom. And as I'm laying in bed, there's all these candles lit and the room is spinning. And all of a sudden the fiance comes in and she's like, hey, so is it true you're a virgin? I'm like, yeah. And she's like, do you want to change that? And I'm like, yeah. And I'm not making any of this shit up. She blew out the candle and then she started to go down on me. And that has never happened in my life. And I'm like, holy cow. And then 3 thrusts later, it was over. Maybe 2.5. And then, but I thought it was to back up just a little bit, she told me that the fiance sent her into the room to do it.
Is that true?
Well, 2 seconds later after it happened, he came into the room and said, hey, it's okay. I'm glad you had fun. Don't worry about it.
Oh, wow. Man. So they're definitely not married.
That was it.
Tell me they're not
23, 24. Yeah.
Wow. Chunky, that's just around when you had lost your virginity.
Well,
according to our
just because you whack off doesn't mean you lose your virginity at that time.
I was all by myself. Oh my goodness. I mean, so when was the first time you were with a dude? Before that?
Before that. But you know, when you're doing it before that, at the age I was doing it, you didn't know what you were doing. Yeah. So the first time I really knew what I was doing when I was with a guy, I had moved out to LA. And when I moved back home that day, I was really homesick, and all my friends bailed on me the first day I came home, and I was so upset. I'm like, this is gonna sound so stupid, but I was in the car, and "If It Makes You Happy" by Sheryl Crow came on the radio, and I started bawling, and I was like, this is so fucked up. I'm gay, and I'm like, I just need to figure this part of my life out. And I went and found a gay bar, and I met a couple people, and I met some guy, and I hooked up with him that night in the back of my RAV4, my brand new RAV4.
Oh my God.
And that's solidified.
Yeah, I mean, I always knew, but I remember that. It's so weird how you remember certain specific moments and times and just everything. And then he gave me his number, and I was like, oh, I'm never going to see you again. But but anyway, so that was that.
I want to let you know, before you got here, we did not even consider this a conversation.
Oh, wow.
We didn't give a shit. I don't here in the Garage of Love. We don't give a fuck. As long as,
well, if it's the Garage of Love, I'm sure it's happened here before. Don't act like it hasn't.
That is the casting couch.
Listen, when the lights are out, a hole's a hole. I totally get it.
But no, let me ask you, what about parents? What was your home life? Did you have a mom and dad?
Oh yeah. My parents are still married. My dad is a mailman.
Mom and dad.
Well, no, but like if they're
I'm trying to be gentle. He's gay.
I'm not gonna cry. I'm not like one of those gays. No, my mom and dad are together, and my dad is a mailman. My mom is a librarian and a cafeteria mom, and very middle class. And I mean, I had to come out to my family because when I was performing with Wayne, part of me being gay was part of our shtick. Like Wayne might just say, "Oh," even if Wayne went, "Oh, the gay guy says this," or said something, it always came up in the show.
Right.
Or I might have even brought it up or whatever. It was just became part of the show.
He's gay.
And I told my brother as I picked him up from the airport to drive him to the show, I was like, so I have to talk to you about something. And he was not cool with it. But I'm from...
Older brother?
Younger brother.
Younger brother?
He wasn't cool with it at first. But I don't think it was that. I think my brother was more kind of hurt that maybe I didn't tell him. And he defended me so much to people. And I think that's where the hurt came from. And then
everybody else sort of knew, and
everybody else kind of knew, but then they also made fun of me a lot for it. I mean, not to turn this into the big gay interview, but like, I mean, when I was in middle school, One Crazy Summer, everybody got to go see it, but I couldn't because it was PG-13 and I was 12 and my mom wouldn't let me. And when they came back from the movie, they're like, "You were in the movie." I'm like, "I was."
What movie was it?
And they were like, One Crazy Summer.
Oh,
and they had
right.
just said, "You were in the movie. You were the guy that was running from the girls because you don't like girls." And I thought that it was funny, but that was the first time that I realized everybody knew that like there was something different about me.
Right on.
Wow.
Right on. And you know, and can you just grab your phone?
Oh yeah.
You know you're gay when this is your phone cover.
Wait.
Okay. All
You're
right.
lucky I don't have my Golden Girls wallet on me. So wait, I was at a bar the other day and I was waiting for a friend of mine, regular straight restaurant, and I'm sitting there and this girl is with her friends and I hear them talking about me. So the girl comes over to me and she starts talking to me and she thinks I'm cute and it was like, you know, she was hitting on me. And then my phone rang and it was my friend texted me. So I pulled my phone out of my pocket and when I put my phone down, I put it up, you know, face first down on the thing.
Yeah.
And she looked at my phone and then I pulled out my wallet to pay and I literally have a Golden Girls wallet. And I pulled out my Golden Girls wallet. These are the fucking beats. So if you're me and I'm her, these are the beats. She was like, "Oh my God." That was it. She didn't even say nothing. She just looked at my wallet, looked at me, looked back at the wallet and phone and turned back because she knew.
Well, let me tell you something. Your gaydar, you know, it's not strong.
No, I'm you know.
You're
I don't
a dude,
lisp a lot.
Right. And just, you know, on the Facebook, sometimes I get jealous. The fucker guys, you know, in stadiums, and he fucking, you know, and he knows more sports than any fucking hetero that I know. You know, and that's what I adore about you.
Well, I went to school to be a sportscaster too. That's what I
you
wanted
did?
to do. That's what I wanted to do. And then I fell into acting. So that was kind of always a passion of mine.
Hey, we've got somebody in common that is fighting a good fight. An agent, Barbara.
Oh.
You know Barb Frederick?
No.
Was it? I thought you. Maybe we don't.
I don't think so.
Innovative.
Yeah, but Innovative. I was with Innovative. I was with oh my gosh, Stuart Kavanaugh.
Oh, then my bad, because you know Barb talked about you that you know she.
Oh, yes. I thought you said Bart.
Oh,
Oh,
no,
yeah,
no, Barb.
Barb. Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know she's fighting a good fight.
I didn't know that.
Yes, yeah. She got cancer. She left. She just retired. I don't want to. I don't want to bum this whole thing out.
No, it's okay. I
because-
saw the post on Facebook today.
Right. So, yeah. I was just.
Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, I didn't know that. My first agent, John Paradise, same thing.
Really?
Yeah, he was the one. It was funny. He was the first person that was like, when I moved out here, he took a chance on me right away. And, you know, I was up and tested for a bunch of stuff, and that doesn't happen anymore because they'd rather hire like Joey Fatone or Alfonso Ribeiro to host stuff. I don't say that in a bitter way, but like, but John was the first person that was like, this reality is going to be huge, and he took me on right away, and he was kind of like the reality person for a while, reality host person. But he's sick too, so that's crazy.
Yeah. So Barb, keep fighting, kid.
Yeah,
Love you, sweetheart.
Yeah.
Check this out. Last year, I take my kids to Magic Mountain, right? And, you know, my kids are roller coaster fanatics, and I dig roller coasters. We get out of the car, and my kids start jumping up and down, right? And I look over, and I see Bill saying, "This is a Sindelar," right? And he's with his friend, who I don't even know.
No, I used to do warm up on Hannah Montana.
Right.
So I was there from the very beginning, and it just so happens that the guy who played Miley's brother, Jason Earls, we became really good friends because he's a diehard Cleveland fan also, and he used to be from Cleveland, and so him and I we do a lot together. So we show up at Magic Mountain. We have passes.
Oh, they were jumping up and down because of the Hannah Montana guy.
Right, he's jumping up and down because it's me.
And you're like, oh, I know these guys.
So I pushed
Another
my kids.
Chunky Bee moment
Yeah.
right here, by the way.
I pushed my kids off to the side. I don't even know the
Right.
superstar, kid star. And there's Bill over there just putting on his suntan lotion. He's putting on his sunscreen, and I'm like, dude. He's like, I just put sunscreen. Fuck it, give me a big hug. And my kids are like, Dad, how do you know
Right.
this guy? He's with him. I'm like, dude, that's just how it.
You know, we've had a chance to work on some really great stuff.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
it's like I feel I always say I'm the most popular person that no one knows.
That's
Like the
my
most
li-
famous person.
Right.
You know, it's like
I'm Hollywood's most famous unknown.
that's the truth.
Yeah, and you're speaking of
That's
that.
the tag a lot of warm-up guys.
It is a
around the
thing,
neck.
and you know we've had.
But let me. I want
Go
to
ahead.
talk to both of you guys about this because you know the perception of the warm-up comedian is that can't make it as a regular stand-up, so fall back as warm-up. I'm not saying it's true.
No.
But I want you guys to talk about that. And can you break out of that mold?
What sucks is it never used to be that way, and I don't know. And it was before my time, and I don't know because we kind of started at the same time, I think. Yeah. But like people like Bob Saget and all those guys used to be warm-ups, and people would go, "You're great," and they were series regulars, or they ended up writing on shows. Like the one guy that created my friend Jason's show, he was a warm-up guy, and they thought he was so funny. They brought him on as a staff writer, and now he's been a showrunner for all these years, and he's like one of the most sought-after kids producers now. And I think I don't know what happened at one point. I also think a lot of people in our business are afraid of losing their jobs. So looking at someone like Chunky and going, "That guy's funny. Let's put him on our staff." They're like, "Well, what has he done? What does he do? Who does he know? Why is he important? Why him more than other people?" And it's weird.
It's more protective now.
It's more protective. Well, because everybody feels like they have to know someone, or you. I don't know. I don't know what it is. People are less creative, so they don't want to take chances on folks, I think.
You know, Jay Leno used to be a warm-up guy.
Yeah.
Welcome Back, Carter.
Is that right?
Yeah. Wow. Isn't that crazy? But you know what's happening now, and what scares me is warm-up guys are the position is losing its pizzazz. You know what I'm saying? It's like Dr. Phil decided not to even go with one. The doctors, there's shows that are not going.
Well, you did the show. I mean, like, let's. Do you think they really needed somebody? For the type of show that it is. Let's be honest. You were making money. But like that show, literally they go, "Hey, welcome, I'm going to yell at some people. Let's roll the tape." Right. I mean, that's pretty much Dr. Phil.
Yeah.
And I'm not, but it sucks because like they would, or like on Late, they're kind of, some of those shows they end up taking the writers and, so you have to make yourself invaluable. I think, TV's so different though now.
Yeah. And you're busy. Let's talk about
I'm okay.
Your schedule. You're over. You want to?
You got to do a commercial, huh?
Yeah, I tell you what. We're gonna talk about how I am so happy because a dear, cool person that I love, Sharon Osbourne, is in your life.
I love Sharon Osbourne.
We're going to talk about that right after this break. Do me a favor, please. This is 1 Degree of Chunky B on ChunkyB.tv. We got Bill in the house. We got Adler over there. We got the knob, the Wizard of the Knobs.
Wow. Hey, I didn't know it was that.
And we're going to come back. And I tell you what, we're going to talk behind the scenes. Really cool stuff. Chunky B, be right back. You guys have got to check out our brand new sponsor, Venice Duck Brewery. You want to get your quack on? Taste some of this. Hey, you guys, music provided by Play Up Music. That's playupmusic.com.
Black is the night that holds you down. Black is the night that holds you down. Black is the night that holds you down. Black is the night that holds you down.
Hey, I'm Bill Sindelar, and I am on 1 Degree of Chunky B, which is 89 degrees away from me being manly.
Baby, won't you dance with me? Baby, won't you dance with me?
Listen to me. We're back, and you know something? Bill's in the Garage of Love. One of the good guys in the business. But real fast, before we get back into the nitty gritty, and I want to talk to you about what you're doing with Sharon and stuff like that. Show that to the camera.
Lucky duck.
John Henry.
Lucky duck.
I wonder if that's ever happened to your beer bottle.
And you guys, thank you so much for the support. You guys are going to the website, and we've got the donation button, and we did raise some money to feed the Wiz.
We got him some chicken legs tonight.
Yes, right.
Thanks, America.
And if you're going to shop on Amazon, check it out. Just you go to ChunkyB.tv. Boom, you go to there, and you're doing the show justice.
Hang on. He went no. But what you actually do is click on the Amazon button.
Right.
Okay, buy your thing. It's not going to cost you any more money.
Right.
And tell us what you bought, and we'll talk about it on the air.
Wow.
We will talk about it. And I tell you what, you buy enough, you'll be a freaking guest.
That's right.
All right? That's the executive producer.
Maybe on the couch.
Have you already had 4 beers, by the way? Holy shit.
Oh, dude, don't blink.
Oh, my God.
Don't play.
Sorry, I know you're plugging stuff, but I just looked over. I saw 4 empty fucking cans. Good Lord.
Just don't say which cans those belong to.
Yeah, dude.
Lucky ducks.
Sorry.
You know, I have a wife, okay, and she reminds me of the same thing.
Can I,
So you have
let
to
me clue
drink
you in.
to go back into the house? All right, I see how it works.
Neither one of our wives will ever watch this goddamn podcast.
I know. We can say anything we want. We can say motherfucking God.
Yeah, they do not give a shit.
Yeah,
man.
right. And they don't even think we're doing anything.
No.
They just think we're
Yeah,
back here.
it is. Yeah.
Well, I told my wife because my kid had a party at the house. There was
Yeah.
15-year-olds at my house,
Right.
and I went to the goddamn podcast festival with you, and my
Right.
wife's like, "You guys making any money on that podcast? You sure you can't be here with the party with me?" And I'm like, "Yo, I gotta go, honey.
There's beer, lots of beer.
I gotta go. I'm really, really needed over there."
Yeah. All right. Sindelar's in the house. His name's Bill. He's a fucking an awesome individual. What I like is that there's a group of warm-up individuals that we honestly, we all like each other.
Not like each other. We try to. Well, you
Yeah.
know how it is. You got to keep it in the circle because when somebody else breaks in, then they start taking your word.
Right.
Which
right,
is
right.
kind of happening because that's this guy was doing Craig Ferguson forever, and you were getting paid well, and it's a great
Yeah.
gig. But that was kind of my problem with Wayne. Is like I was working with Wayne so much that it was one thing on my resume, but like all of a sudden you don't do that, and you're like, what? Oh
Yeah.
yeah, the fans run. We got to turn that thing off.
Oh, that's right.
But no,
Yeah.
like my thing is like right now I do the voice, but the voice does. Everyone thinks the voice is on all the time, but we shoot. We shoot 2 months of shows in like 4 days. So
Yeah.
we do that, and then we have like 4 other shoot days. So it's literally like 8 tape days, and then we go live. So I do the voice. So it's not a ton, but I do the voice and Big Brother, and I do Jesse on the Disney Channel. It's a different act. And then I'm
You
at the
do the
talk
beer
and-
bottle trick?
I do the beer bottle trick. Yes, I said. Let's see how far he can go tonight, kids.
Deeper.
Sit on it next. No. But yeah, but we kind of get out of the loop because the thing about our business is you want to be consistent, but then when you're fucking consistent, you're like, damn, I'm out of the loop. What do I do when I don't have the gig?
So check this out. I do the 9-year run with Ferguson.
Yeah.
Right. Then I'm sitting there, scrapping. Thank God I've got my, the camera experience. But then I get a gig over at E, and then my boss dies.
I know, right? Well, Kathy Griffin
Joan-
will be there now, though, right?
Joan Rivers. Yeah, I just got an email the other day.
Good.
They're not going to do anything until the beginning of the year.
It's still Melissa's show.
It's still Melissa's show.
Still Melissa show.
Yeah. So
But Kathy's perfect for that. That'll be fun. And
She
she's,
is.
No doubt.
She's cool.
Great.
She's cool.
no doubt.
I did her talk show last year. She's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Joan demanded all gay people in the audience.
Well, of course, because she's smart.
Yeah,
She knows
yeah.
her audience.
Yep. But something, I'm sitting there like, the big fat sweaty, middle-aged dude. But I they loved me. It was a cool situation. They were coming back.
What
and
the fuck did you do for a bunch of gay dudes? That's what I want to know.
I
You
blew
couldn't?
them
Did you?
all.
You
I
did.
blew them all.
Wow, you must have been good.
Do the Cinderella joke?
Did you keep coming back?
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
the
Cinderella
token chunky joke, which I always steal. Why would you want a 6-pack when you can have a keg? I'm sure that went over well with the gay guys. Yeah. That's the joke.
Hey, let's talk about a mutual friend, Sharon Osbourne.
I know. I love Mrs. O.
Talk to me about it. What
She's just awesome because she's so on the talk. It's Julie. I do the talk. It's like CBS's version of The View, in case you don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Although when we say The View, it'll be like they're the ABC version of the talk because our ratings are great.
Isn't Aisha on that
Aisha's
show?
on there. Aisha's. It's Julie, Aisha, Sharon, Sarah Gilbert, and Cheryl Underwood, and we. No, it's just so much fun. It's so ridiculous. Like Sharon, like in the middle of something serious today, just starts sneezing, and you can't stop. It's like everybody's laughing, but our show is so silly. But Mrs. O is like, she's so great.
Do you know something? Can I brag?
No bag. She
Remember
loved you.
when you
She
walk-
put you on air.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
She
I
loved you.
Yep. When you walked through my kitchen, I should have stopped you and pointed to the refrigerator. She gave me the refrigerator. That's
From the
still
show?
in my house.
Shut up.
From the
Love
Sharon
her.
Osbourne show. Like, what was that? Fucking 7-8 years ago.
I'm gonna have, I forgot. I'll tell her that I came here tonight because she'll remember.
Yes. Oh God, yes. Because I work with Kelly. I work with Kelly Osbourne.
And I want to do a talk show with Kelly.
Kelly is on fire, man.
Kelly, she's so cute.
And I want you guys.
She's
know-
underrated.
She's underrated?
I feel like she should be way better. And her and I thought it's funny because I said to Sharon, I'm like, why is she not hosting X Factor? Why did they get Forehead to do it?
Right.
Khloe Kardashian. Seriously, how the fuck does she work? And I was like, why isn't Kelly doing it? And she said Simon thought that Khloe was sexier, and I was like, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah, she is on fire. It's a slow grow. Kelly Osbourne. Now, when I knew her, when I first met her, she was like 15 years old.
Pink hair.
Yeah, and
just great.
And it's just like out to kick the world's ass. You know, she had a chip on her shoulder, and her dad was, her dad and mom. But now
she's a young, beautiful woman.
She is so nice. I don't get to hang out with Kelly behind closed doors, but I tell you, when I do hang out with her for the small amount of time, respect, kind, young lady.
She was young back then.
Yeah,
Everybody
exactly.
all did stupid shit. You know?
But I want to tell you a story that there's one time with Miley Cyrus. I was with her and I got a chance to smoke pot with her. Oh shit, that wasn't me. Who was that?
Look how he did that. Wow. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know. Miley smokes pot. Never. Why was she's? It's not. It's.
But I hear she's got good weed.
I'm just. I guess if she had good weed, I mean, it's Miley Cyrus. Would you not expect her to have good weed?
Right, but no. Adler. If you were with Miley,
I did blow with Tatum O'Neal, but that's a whole other story.
I blew Tatum O'Neal. Look at that. That's crazy.
Are you pleading the fifth dimension on me?
No, it's just no. I've heard those stories, and I've heard if one went to a party and one was maybe handed a joint from Miley Cyrus, and they've never done it before. If you're gonna do it, that might be the time. I'm not saying I did it. I'm just saying hypothetically.
I'm saying that particular person hypothetically felt peer pressure and a joint was passed by Miley.
There's no peer pressure
Who
when
rolled
it's
the
smoke.
joint?
There's no peer pressure.
Did Miley roll the joint?
There was another celebrity involved. Hypothetically,
we're just making this shit up.
That I would never say, but that person may also have been involved. And when that person smoked it, then you're pretty much gonna put.
Who's
it in
the
mouth.
other person? There's
I
a
don't
rhyme
know.
with Lindsay Lohan.
No. No, doesn't rhyme with Lindsay. Yes, Flinzy Clohan. Yes, you're right.
Oh my God. What's your dream job, brother?
At this point, if you would have asked me 5 years ago, I'd have said I want to be on a sitcom and host something. Because I came so close so many times for hosting big stuff. But at this point, I would love to just sell one of my sitcoms and show run and just make people laugh, because that's.
Isn't it awesome?
It's fun to just create. I mean, I have two things. I had sold a show to Disney, and it didn't happen. We thought we were close, but I mean, they say write what you know. So I've got some stuff out there, and like we were talking before about whether you get pigeonholed, and I was doing Big Brother this season, and there was a guy that was always showing up, and I was like, who is this guy? He is here every week. The audience is only 80 people. So, by that point, everybody's name.
Sure.
And I was like, who is this guy? And then he came up to me and talked to me at the rap party, and I found out that he's like some huge agent, and he thought it was funny, and he's like, what do you want to do? And I'm like, I have this. And he, I talked to an assistant on Big Brother who was like, he really asked for you to send your stuff to him? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, do you know who that is? And I'm like, I have no idea. And then found out who he really was. And like, this is a dude that like could make something happen. Now we've been in this business long enough, or you've been around it, but like just the fact that somebody was paying attention and like saw something, you're kind of like, oh, that's cool. So, but yeah, so right now at this point, I would say sell one of my shows and then be able to I know so many talented people that just need a chance. And I would love to just start giving other people work. And, we've done enough of these shows where you see how people treat you, good and bad. And I'm like, I just want to have this great environment and make people laugh and let people make money and not fucking be cheap with the Christmas parties and the wrap gifts and like treat people how they want to be.
Is that the one that got away, or maybe you have a different story?
The one that got away?
Yeah, the sitcom.
The sitcom?
In other words, did you ever have anything right at the tip of your fingers there, and it just was like,
American Idol.
Talk about that.
I mean, I tested to host it. I was in a room with 10 people. And I have two. I mean, and these happen around the same time. I mean, I signed my contract. My contract was for $300,000 the first season. So imagine you're like fucking the mascot for the Angels. And at this point, though, I was up to host a lot of stuff, and I was making it far. And I'm like sitting in this room, and I don't know anybody. I didn't know Ryan Seacrest. I mean, we were all unknowns.
Or
but
the
that
other
was,
guy.
But Brian Dunkelman. But that was but that was also at a point where they took chances on people.
Yeah.
And they didn't, you know, like even if they hire Joey Fatone, look, I like Joey, so this isn't a slam. I'm just
Yeah,
saying,
no, I hear you.
I like Joey. He's one of my friends. I mean, I could text him right now. He, you know, they would rather say we got Joey Fatone, even if Joey isn't the right fit or whatever. They would just be like, because they can promote him, even if whatever.
He's promotable,
and then they could bring me on, and I might bring the same ratings.
Do you know? Do you know a bigger pervert than Joey?
The Joey? Joey's awesome. I love Joey.
No, he's
Joey.
awesome.
Listen, I went on the road with Joey and we did a show for ABC called Karaoke Battle USA. And me, him, and Carney Wilson. Carney Wilson is.
Are you serious?
Oh my God. I can't even tell you. Carney Wilson is one of my favorite people in the world. She is filthy. The three of us together. I can't even.
No.
Joey Fatone took me to a strip club.
Can we
Oh my
I
God.
went to a strip club and I'm like, I'm going to go with Joey. It was great.
Tell us the story. Break it down.
No, I mean, truly, that was it. It was a long day, and we drank, and we just went there, and we had a lot of fun, and some chicks wanted to make out with me, and he thought it was hilarious. But with Idol, I went in, I made it the top 10, and then they started pairing us up with people, and I didn't get it. And then shortly after that, I was hired to replace Carson Daly on TRL.
Wow.
And they stopped returning calls to my agent the week. I was literally packing my stuff up to move to New York, and then they stopped returning calls to my agent. I was supposed to move to New York, start training, and then host the Beach House that summer, and then take over TRL in the fall. And then they stopped returning calls to my agent. Just like nothing. No. So, you know, at this point, they still might be waiting for me. But but yeah, so there are those, you know, but I'm not the only person who has those stories. But I learned the good thing for me was I learned way early that I'm like, wow, this business is fucking cruel and cutthroat, and nobody cares about you or your feelings. It's kind of like, you know, it's show business for a reason. It's 10% show and 90% business. And once you understand that, you know, people just want to make money and they're trying to save their asses the whole time.
Yeah, and even with the advent of all these, you know, like overnight success shows, it's never that.
No.
It's never that.
Well, and you know the bitch about the American Idol thing too is that season they wanted me to come and do warm up. That's the bitch. When you're like, oh,
You're not the host, but can you warm up?
but these people, and that's happened to me at least 5 times where I've gone in and tested. But the production's separate. Production's separate from like the network people and all those guys who make decisions. So then you're standing there. There was a dance show for ABC where I went in. I did all the test runs. I basically helped create the verbiage of the show. I did this thing for like 2 months, and they were like, "We want you to host it." And then it came down the line a little later on that they thought I was too fat, that I was too heavy.
Shut up.
Swear to God, the note was that they thought that I was too fat and I was too heavy on camera. And I didn't get it, but they wanted but then the production people called me to be the warm-up guy. So there's nothing worse than you're standing there and you're just looking up at this guy and you're like, really, this is the shit? But again, you know what? I'm where I'm supposed to be. I love doing warm-up like 7 days a week. You can be on 7 different sets.
I thought you meant the Garage of Love.
Oh, and the Garage of Love. You know, you get to 7 different sets 7 days a week. I get to work with like awesome people. Like The Talk, we debate like fucking Miley Cyrus's hair color in the day, and then I literally will leave that show and then go do The Voice live. And
you're making a good living?
Oh yeah, I can't complain.
That's awesome.
Come on. That's you know, it's not really work.
That's the thing that people don't really get about Hollywood is, you know, how many more jobs there are than George Clooney's.
Yeah, but you also, but it's getting on that train though. When you're not on that train, it sucks because you're watching everybody else and you're catering and you're working at restaurants. But when you can get on that train, it's not even the money train. But like he was saying, our group is kind of small. I'm very particular. Like there's certain people that like I'm like, how the fuck did this person get this job? They're not good. But a lot of people don't even listen to us. And then when they finally listen to them, they're like, why is this guy out there? He's insulting the audience. And like,
because somebody went, my brother's good at this.
Well, but that's the truth.
Yeah.
That's the truth. And they think, oh, whatever, he can do it. And so, but once you get on that train and you start working and you meet people, it's, you know, but it's all the way down. The same with camera guys.
Yep.
You know how hard it is. Like everyone's protective of their work.
But when you're in the pocket and you go into the gig and you know you love the gig, you do it for free. You would do it for free.
There's days on The Voice where you're like, I'm standing there and I'm like, you know, I've got like 1,000 people.
Yeah.
And they're all, you know, I'm in charge of making sure that 1,000 people clap for a singer, whether they're good that night or maybe they're off or, you know, maybe there's an artist on, like maybe we have a special music guest that people are kind of like, oh, what is this song? But, you know, our job is to be like, this is the best fucking thing you have ever heard. And, you know, to support people up there. Like I actually feel like when I do a lot of these reality shows, I feel for these contestants because I'm like, this is their one shot. And I'm like, if I was up there and if I hit a note bad, I would not want the audience just standing there not clapping. That's why some people go, we knew you were the warm-up guy in that show because the way the audience was. And I'm like, well, yeah, because everybody deserves the same opportunity. So like, I always make, on The Voice, you will see the audience stand for every fucking performer. And that's because even if it's a slow song, because if everybody's sitting there and it's a slow song and you're looking at them, then they're feeling self-conscious, like, am I doing it right, am I not? But if everybody's standing there and at least moving and doing something, then they feel like they've got the audience behind them. I really do think of that stuff.
That's cool.
And I want to let you know, I love The Voice.
Dude, this season's the best. I've done Idol. I've done all these shows. This season with Gwen and Pharrell is the best thing. Wait, you haven't seen anything yet. It's the best music show I have ever worked on.
The reggae guy got in. The chick with the guitar, I think it was on with the shit. It could be. I TiVo it.
Yeah.
And my kids watch it.
So great.
And I want to let you know, I don't know if this is embarrassing. I can tell you who won Big Brother. It was Derek. Okay, I watch this stuff.
Well, you kind of have to for work too.
Yeah,
but it's enjoyable.
You know. But I really what I'm saying is, your heart's in the right place where you're cheering these people on, and I'm at home and watching it, cheering them on.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah,
I just got emotional.
The voice has a lot of heart to it.
Gary, ask a question about. I'm about to hug.
What do you want to talk about? What do you want to talk about?
I want to talk to you about.
We got 4 minutes according to the stopwatch. 4 fucking minutes.
No. We can bust the time. We can bust the time.
You might get the light early.
I just want to know tell me a story about being a mascot. I know we.
We kind of never finished on that.
Yeah,
huh?
yeah.
The best. Okay, two good stories of the mascot. It was when Pedro Martinez was like on fire. Remember, I mean, he was the best picture in baseball. And I'm standing on the field. And I'm out there, and it's like the day, it was awful. It was like Little League Day. I have to high five like 25,000 kids, and everyone thinks, but all these kids think that they're better than the next. So they're like, I'm gonna spit on my hand and then high five the mascot as hard as I can, 25,000 fucking times. But like,
and
this
just a giant baseball head, right?
There was a big bear costume. There was a big bear
bear
and a small bear, but that's because they couldn't have angels running around. And California emblem is a bear. California state emblem's a bear.
Wow.
So, but I'm out there, and it was just awful. And then Pedro Martinez walks up to me and he's like, "What's up, bear?" And I was like, oh my God, am I talking to Pedro Martinez? And he's like, it's really hot in there, isn't it? And he just walked away, and I'm like, you would have no idea who the fuck I am. But at this point, it was like, I'm like, it's Pedro Martinez. I'm like, that was, those are the interactions that you just laugh at that happen. And then like, there was one time where the Yankees were in town, and the Yankees, that's when they were winning everything. And I was in the upper deck, and they would always send 4 cute girls with me as like my little guides to make sure nothing happened to me.
Right.
And so like, you don't send the mascot up into the drunk section with the Yankees fans because that's the day that they passed me from the bottom all the way up the section to the top and poured beer on me. I swear to God, it's one of my best memories. But what are the girls supposed to do? This, let him go, as they're passing me and literally pouring beer on
me. They did not.
Oh, they swear to God they did.
They body surfed.
They body surfed me up the section.
The bear.
No one could help me. These little girls, let him alone.
I mean, you're not really allowed to talk because you're a bear. You're like,
right. Well, you know what? And I mean, is that a bear?
I'm a bear.
That is hilarious.
The best mascot story that I have though is when I used to be Bullwinkle at Universal Studios.
Oh my goodness.
So I'm fucking Bullwinkle, and in the off season, that's when a lot of the Asian clientele came. So in the off season, that's when I guess they're on vacation and they come over here, and so. It just so happened this day in the park, I was fucking hungover. I'm like, that was the best job to be hungover in because you're just sitting. So I'm in this costume, and the way the Bullwinkle costume worked is you look through his neck is where your eye line is because he's so big. Right. So the antlers are up here. So the Asian, don't ask me why, but they loved him because he was so big. So they would always try to climb on top of me or grab my antlers. And the worst thing is you don't want fucking people hanging from your antlers when you're hungover. So this day I came there and I'm like, I just don't want to deal with these people today. So I decided to go under a heat lamp because I'm like, I'm safe under here. They can't jump up. I'll be good. I can take pictures. Well, while I'm under the heat lamp, I don't know, but my antler is touching the heat lamp. So all these Asian people are pointing at me and they're like, and I'm like, yes, I'm fucking Bullwinkle. And I'm not going to let you touch touch my antlers. Meanwhile, I'm on fire because my antler is in the heat lamp. So like that's to me, that's my one story that like I'm sitting there like oh, and I'm like yes, I'm bullwinkled, but I'm like fucking melting.
Did you run into the water like a cartoon? Like
Jumping through the pond.
I ruined like a $50,000 costume too.
wow.
I mean, do they modify it? Do you have like a fan in there?
Not on that stuff. And the Angels mascot thing, the thing that was tough is it's so hot on the field. So like that Little League day, it was all the perfect storm. It was the hottest day we had that summer. So it's like if the field says 100 degrees, you're in that costume, and it was thick fur.
God.
It wasn't like something thin, and there was no ice packs or anything.
Did you ever have to do that race?
I never had to do the race. I never had to. That was, the thing that blew about that is that we were, they got rid of us for the Rally Monkey, and that was the year that they fucking won the World Series, and I would have had a World Series ring. So had they not fired us because of the Rally Monkey, I would have had a World Series ring.
And who came up with the Rally Monkey?
You know what? It was so stupid. No, they used to always show a clip from Ace Ventura, and it was the monkey, and he would always just jump, and they're like, the Rally Monkey's here, and everybody just embraced it. And then,
but wasn't there certain rules? Like you couldn't bust out the monkey until like 7th inning or something?
Well, there are rules. You know what? I don't even remember what they are, but there were rules. There's like, it had to be after the 7th inning. And
hey, Bill Sindelar, I want to tell you something.
What?
You're awesome.
Wait, you want to know what really quick before you tell me how awesome I am?
Go.
You guys have to check out the show that I do the voice on. It's called The Most Popular Girls in School, and some of your people might watch this, but it's huge. It's a huge internet hit, and it came to me by accident. And I'm the voice of the lunch lady.
So they can go on YouTube.
So, yeah, it's so big that I say I had nothing to do with it. I'm talent. Those guys, and they're great. It's motion capture with Barbie dolls. It's basically Mean Girls with Barbie dolls.
Wow.
And these guys have sold the show and will probably end up being on air sometime.
What's
in
the show
spring.
called again?
It's called The Most Popular Girls in School. But I'm the lunch lady. So I talk like this, and it's like, and I hit on everybody, boy, girl. I'm like, I will do whatever. So, but it's weird because our fans are like, the shit that comes out of my mouth is just horrible. Because the guys give me a script, and then like they let me riff, and we play off of each other. And I'm like, we find out like our age is like 10 to like 18 and 19-year-olds, and I'm like, oh my god, the stuff that I say. And then I get these people on Facebook and Instagram or like Twitter that start following me. I'm like, who is this? Oh, that's illegal. 15 gets you 30. So you just kind of go, you're like, I can't friend you, but it's really funny.
Cool. Where else can we find the folks at home find you?
I'm on Instagram, and on Twitter. I'm 6 the BSB, which is 6 the Backstreet Boy. Shut up. And but that name has lived with me because when I moved from Cleveland out here, it's when email, because God, this is so long ago. It's when you had an AOL account. So I'm like, just email me at 6bsb@aol.com, because people knew I was like the 6th Backstreet Boy, because I love the Backstreet Boys. So it just kind of stuck with me.
You're an awesome individual.
No, you are.
And I want you to, when this airs, we're not exactly sure exactly.
Yeah.
I want you to bust it out on all your peeps.
Oh, no, I'll tweet it out. I'll be for sure.
And you're always welcome in the Garage of Love.
No, I would love, please. This is fun. I'd come out here. Just got to change the time. Fucking coming from the Valley to Venice. Jesus Christ, 7:30.
That's rough, man.
I know. All right, I'll tell you what. We'll make any time for you. We'll make any time for you.
Totally.
Definitely come
fun.
back.
It's
This
fun.
was a lot of good times.
You're a good man.
No.
And you guys. Oh my God, that's right. Here's the thing.
Oh no, what do we have to
the
do something
Wiz?
else?
No. The Wizard of the Knobs always has a closing question.
Oh.
and I want you to know.
Exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, prepare yourself.
We have no idea.
Versatile.
Yeah, just when we're ready to wrap it up. Just when we wrap it up, this could be another fucking 10 minutes. Wiz, you have the floor.
12 inches.
Bill, welcome.
Hello.
Thanks for coming out. Great stories. I love hearing these mascot stories, especially.
That's fucking fake. That's really a fake.
No.
Is that sincere?
I've
That's
got a very, very important question for you.
Yes.
Got Josh Gordon on my fantasy team.
Keep him.
Keep him? I shouldn't trade him?
Nope.
You think I should keep him?
Keep him, because he'll be back for the last 6 games, and he's pissed, and he realizes he probably lost $50 million in guaranteed money. And if they're throwing the ball and Miles Austin is getting 100 yards and 2 TDs a game, wait till Josh Gordon comes back.
He was a beast last year.
Because they're not there. The funny thing is, if Miles Austin can stay healthy and Cameron in there, they're not going to be able to cover all those guys. Gordon's, yeah, I mean, he almost had 2,000 yards last year in 14 games.
He's an animal. I love him.
That's legit.
I got my
That
Browns
is a
advice.
fucking
Thank
real
you.
deal right there.
Legit.
I love that we're talking fantasy. Right before I came in here, I was literally sitting in my car, and I'm dating this guy who I never, okay, you talk about my sports. I never met anybody who knew sports more than me. This dude knows more than me. And I sent him a text, and I was like, listen, do I want the Indy D this week or Philadelphia? And because I was thinking of dropping Indy's defense. And he sent me like 3 articles with links. He's like, it's this, this, this. And I'm like, dude, this guy. My last boyfriend hated sports, so it was cool because he like cooked during the game, and then we ate during commercial breaks because he wanted to watch the commercials. But this guy, I might be able to get laid during a game and watch football. I'm like, man, it works.
Nirvana.
Hey, touchdown. Hey.
I think Bill Sindelar, you are an awesome individual. Thank you for being here in the Garage of Love. We are DONE. Thank you, everybody.
Now, I just have to make a comment about Chunky B.